Welcome back to this latest edition of 545 Live. Be sure to join us in a moment, but first let's take a look at what's coming up on deck tonight. Now we'll talk about some of the incidents in Vernon that have been going on, including a standoff with police. Retreat workers are on strike, or at least that may be where it's headed, and the skate park unveils its latest plans, probably what'll be its final plans. All that and more. Remember, the goal, as always, is to try and do it in 15 minutes or less, so stick with us right here on 545 Live.
I know that there has been so much pain.
There's flooding like everywhere.
The water has to go somewhere.
We're here at the corner of Liberty and Broadway, Zakati Park.
This is about helping other people.
This is a movement. I don't say the word protest.
There's been a lot of Vermont Yankee in the media lately.
It's an important case for us to appeal, and long fight, okay.
A look at some of the best of 545 Live. Welcome back to this November 13th, 2012 edition of 545 Live. We'll talk about all those things promised here on the list, including the happenings in Vernon last night, a police standoff that was resolved peacefully. Joe Bushy was out back to the Vernon police station after the incident to talk with interim police chief Keith Clark.
You hate to have to use force, but in this case we waited. We did everything we could do with the hostage negotiations, and basically it just came down that, after an hour and a half, 2 hours of no contact with him, we couldn't run the risk that if he had firearms in, that someone came to the apartment they thought was law enforcement or someone else.
Tear gas was deployed in bringing a potentially suicidal hostage in, though no one was injured in the process. All right. Brattleboro retreat workers are on strike, though at this point it's an informational strike only in name, but they've been protesting outside the iron gates of Brattleboro's mental institution, psychiatric hospital institution, and we're down there with our cameras thanks to producer Andrika Donovan, who's been producing on her own time footage of this piece. Let's take a look.
The administration is really good at giving lip service to excellence and innovation and quality care, but they want to get it on the cheap.
If excellence is expected, then we need to be able to staff it for excellence.
They have probably the most radical and drastic contract demands that this union has ever seen.
I'm on the negotiating team. Name is Sean Whelan. We're just here in supporting of the patients, the safety, staffing safety. That's what we're here for.
A look at some of the happenings at the retreat. Now, as mentioned, this is only an informational strike, but organizers did say that if the message does not get across and negotiations don't continue with the administration, expect workers to mount a full-on walkout. All right, moving on. When you hear the word union, you often think of the co-op these days, as controversy's been boiling over there, but there's a slightly different news story coming out from the downtown supermarket, maybe just a market. Oh, it's pretty super for Brattleboro, as they cut the ribbon on their brand new store. Of course, it's been open for months now, but the official ribbon cutting ceremony was held this past weekend, and 545 Live content specialist Maria Dominguez was there. Let's take a look.
1, 2, 3.
We created accessible apartments in our downtown, and we created attractive, affordable housing opportunities in our downtown, close to jobs and services and shopping, actually.
And shopping, actually, as it turns out. All right, moving on. Of course, big election night. We were here live. I was at this very desk for some live election coverage from the high school where we got the results. Among those results, Governor Peter Shumlin's return, another 2 years, thanks to his YouTube channel put up by his A-Game media team. We've got his comments as he walked back into the State House for another go-round.
Doesn't matter how much money people spend. Doesn't matter how much those outside political consultants come in and try to give a message to Vermonters with those TV ads and all the rest of the mail and everything that everybody is so glad we're not going to have to wake up to that in the morning. The fact of the matter is, there's no place where democracy, grassroots, citizen democracy.
Governor Peter Shumlin talking yesterday at a press conference held that'll show in its entirety on BCTV Channel 10. In fact, it was just showing moments ago. Speaking of things that are just showing, by golly, there's a live Brattleboro Select Board going on. As we speak, let's bring it into the split screen here and take a look at one Dora Bubalis and David Gardenstein. Let's listen in for a moment here.
Agree with that. Anyone else? Dora?
I'm fine with that. It just goes back to the whole advisory thing again. And I mean, I see where Rod's coming from, and even though we don't really have any control over that, it's again, if it's in our town plan and we have some zoning ordinances, then it can be used in a hearing, even if it's not our own development review board.
A little look at the live Brattleboro Select Board meeting room going on Channel 10 right now. Maybe wait just a minute or two while I finish up my show before you click the channel up there. But that's a special Select Board meeting being held on the Brattleboro Town Plan, a follow-up from last week's meeting where they tabled some items and returned that full meeting, including its predecessor, will be available on BCTV's Video On Demand at BrattleboroTV.org, where you can find all local meetings and all local programming to watch at your leisure on your computer. A few notes before we wrap up in this final minute of 545 Live, including talks of Rescue Inc. eliminating the representatives that they've included in their organizational structure, a representative from each town that pays in to utilize their services. At a Townsend Select Board meeting last week, members of the Select Board voiced their concern at losing representation in the rescue organization.
What they're talking about doing is abolishing their whole system of having a representative from each town on their board and having only a couple, and I said, well, I certainly hope we're one of them. I mean, we are hosting an outpost to them in Townsend.
All right, that's full it, everybody. Thanks for checking in with me in the 10 seconds I've got left. I'll thank Andrika Donovan and Greg McAllister, who helped with the footage of their retreat, and content specialist Maria Dominguez. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.